Hello and welcome to my shop. Thanks for coming and keeping me company here while I work on this rather frustrating radio here. Today is December 2nd. A little bit of snow in the forecast, but not too much. So, okay. Well, what am I going to do about this? Looked like the volume control was in trouble. Took it out. Couldn't really find the trouble. Took it apart. Cleaned it up. Seemed to be just fine. Worked outside the radio. Put it back in. Worked inside the radio. Next day come down, turned on, doesn't work anymore. What could have happened to it? I tested all around. The problem seems to be internal in the volume control. So the only thing I can think of is there's really two sliding contacts. I hadn't thought much about this actually, to be honest with you. All these years doing this. There's really has to be two sliding contacts, or two, yeah, I guess you can call them sliding contacts. One of them is the obvious one that's skidding over the surface of the resistive element. But the other one has to be the pivot point. So I suspect there's something going on with the pivot point. I don't know what else to say. Okay, so what am I going to do? So I'm certainly very attracted to just put in the other volume control and move on. That's very attractive for sure. But I'm really curious about what has gone wrong with this volume control. If I'm going to put the other one in, I have to take this one out anyway. Should I even try it today in case somehow it's working today? I should try that. Okay, enough said. Let's try it. I'll try it right now. Everything is safe here. Okay, here we go. Now, I don't think my antenna is switched on down here, my antenna booster, so we're just going by the loop antenna up here, broadcast band. We have 100 volts supplied to the radio, just a little low. Give it a bit of time here. In fact, why don't we give it a shot of now the radio is running with 105 volts. We'll just a little bit higher. 108, 109. There's no way there's not enough. Huh. As I turned this, you may not have heard it, but there was a faint click, and it seems as if there was a spot. As I went by, it went click, click, click. Just got quieter and quieter. Just making observations, no idea what it means. Voltage on the capacitor. Voltage on the grids here. Shouldn't be anything. Should be something here. Well, maybe not. Maybe here. Maybe not on that. Just nothing coming through at all. Yet I'm pretty sure if we put the signal tracer on, we'll pick up the full radio signal here. It's just not getting through this volume control. Okay, well that's a starting point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract the volume control here, and we will take a look at it again. And I'm probably going to put the other volume control in. It's not that simple. It's problematic. I got to get the length of the shaft just right. Better to have the original one in there, but I'll get it out. We'll take a look at it. Okay, there it is. Let's just do a couple basic tests on it. So looking at the ohm meter, same reading I've gotten every time on the ohm meter. 418. Okay, we'll put it on the slider. heck goes on? Is this capacitor shorted out? No, of course not. I don't understand why this doesn't work. I think I'm going to clip lead it in from here. Maybe I'll solder this one wire back and clip lead it back in. This is definitely one of the most curious things that's happened with radios. To the ground connection. Well, I'll put it right on the wire. Use the same wires. And then this goes to the capacitor. It's hooked back up. Let's see how the power is right here. It's a little bit risky the way I've got it, so I'm gonna think I'll put a little masking tape on it. Okay. Looks good. Volume's turned down. One last check here. Good. There we go. Now you watch. This radio's going to work this time. I ain't going to be left really wondering what is going on. Let's see what happens. Give it the full power, or at least, oh, some loud pops there. Hot diggity dog. Ooh, what's going on? So there was a pop, very brief one, as if it came to life briefly. Okay, somehow, talking about come to life, my television started up in the background. Look at this. Is it grounding this to the chassis? Some of the noise went down because you're grounding out the shell. Somebody explain this to me. What goes on here? It's perfect. Oh my gosh. That's the strangest thing. Okay, I'm gonna put it back in the radio. Okay, let's try this again. This time I haven't soldered all the wires back. I just used clip leads. We'll see what happens. So volume is down. Actually, the switch is off. So volume is down. Here we go again. Seems to be pretty quiet in my house. I wonder where all these cats are. Usually this is one of their runaround times. I shouldn't say anything. Shh, shh, shh. They'll show up. Okay, we've got all of 96 volts. Let's give it a little more than that. Okay, 110 volts. Going for the volume control. Okay, there's definitely something really weird going on. This is exactly the same as it was outside of the radio. They hadn't made a mistake, eh? So let's check these clip leads. Try again. What is going on? I'm going to loosen off this nut here. Radio's definitely on. You're saying it's not on. Look at the lights are on. Oh my gosh, is my signal tracers? Oh my gosh, I left my signal tracer on all night in here. Son of a gun. That's it. Shame on me. I've been wondering what the quiet hum was all this time. This is nice and warm. Okay, we're going to trace. That didn't do anything, did it? It couldn't have. Jeepers creepers, what can this be? Okay, we're going to listen at the output of the radio here. Oh.
Love for you. I couldn't just be talking about what that person did. Keeping up with
Nothing. Okay, coming out of the volume, reaching the volume control. Oh, got the volume turned down over here.
500.
So that's what comes to the volume control. On the grounded end of the volume control, there should be nothing. On the volume control output, nothing there. Let's turn down. Turn it up part way. Up, all the way up. Get ready in case it comes to life. See, there's a tiny amount. Works outside, but doesn't work when it's installed. I've done back and forth how many times now? What is changing on this thing? Turn this down before I get a surprise. Really, like I'm out of gas here. We're going to put the other volume control in. I don't get it. I do not get it. I'm just too curious to let this go. So I've extracted the volume control from the hole, left it hanging here. I managed to maintain the clip lead connections just as they were. I tried to leave it as much as possible, just as it was. Okay, nothing is shorted. Everything's good. We're going to give it another go here because inquiring minds want to know what is going on. You know, like I've tried to dream up what could be happening here, and I can't. I cannot. Ooh, now that was interesting. That was interesting.
Ontario is your third largest trading partner and the #1 export destination for 17 states.
the
says, quote, in a changing world, let's bring jobs back home and build together. It also says Ontario will continue to be a U.S. ally for generations to come. Prime Minister Trudeau and Donald Trump say a dinner meeting at Mar-a-Lago late Friday was productive, but the incoming U.S. president isn't saying yet whether he'll pull back on slapping Canada with tariffs on his first day in office. Mike Ethel reports from the 680 Business Center.
The Trudeau government is reportedly studying adding more resources and personnel to border security, including helicopter patrols, but specifics are still vague after Prime Minister Justin Trudeau flew late Friday to Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. Both Trudeau and Trump posting positive messages on social media after the meeting, calling it a productive get-together. The in-person meeting and a dinner that lasted more than 3 hours came at the end of a rocky week in which Trump had threatened to impose 25% tariffs on all imports from Canada and Mexico unless the two countries stop illegal border crossings and prevent illicit drugs from entering the United States. Trump's post did not directly mention tariffs, and it's unclear whether the Prime Minister's visit alleviated his...
Ooh. What's happening? What's happening, man? What is happening here? What happened? Something really weird happened. Is that more of the same? Really make a new problem? What? I'm out of the pan, into the fire. Yeah, I had the volume down during that rap. Where'd you go, radio? Oh. Shh, Jim, don't be so loud. So something I have not seen till just now, but there's a bent up grounding tab going onto this terminal. And I was wondering, I knew this terminal was grounded, but I never did see how. Now I see how. And it looks like that connection may be bad. So a resistor in here, maybe that's... I don't know, like putting the volume in and taking the volume control out. How does that influence all this? I got no idea. The sound is gone. Oh. that capacitor, the connections, 2-pin connection, any of those things could be doing this. Why putting in the volume control in and out has an effect on it? I don't know. Is it the capacitor? How come the sound's not coming back? I should parallel this capacitor here. Hit this one. Trying to measure how hard a strike it takes on. There's 2 black capacitors here, which I'm sure you're having trouble seeing. One's right here and one's down here. And they both share a common terminal, or a couple of common terminals here that are all tied together and grounded. Maybe the ground is bad. How is it? So the ground is the actual whole, like the socket is riveted to the chassis. And usually in the better radios they'll solder one rivet. And it looks like that's what they've done over here. They've soldered one rivet to the chassis down here. And these weird problems in the past, I have found them, I have related, some weird problems in the past have turned out to be bad chassis grounds at rivets. And so there seems to be a big whack of solder in here, but it's not on the grounding tab. Oh, I see, they soldered it right onto the rivet. They soldered the chassis, the socket rivet. It's pretty suspicious, isn't it? It's the socket. So one thing I could do is I could say, well, I'll take a wire to ground to the chassis somewhere else in this radio. I'll take a wire off of here and I can stick it underneath this screw here, which would be just fine. This is holding the speaker up. I can just loosen that off, stick a big wire in there, bring it over, solder it down here, and that might be the end of the problem. See, now that I'm hitting a rivet. Let me show you this with a close-up camera, and then I'm going to take action on it. Close-up camera is probably not focusing right, but let's see what we can do with it. A little hard to show. I'm going to turn the radio off because because results might not be nice. So you're looking at the socket here. You see this part sticking out. This was provided by the socket manufacturer as a place to solder wires onto the socket. And then the socket, you see, is riveted. This is a rivet right in here. These rivets, they cannot be relied upon. So what most manufacturers do is they solder the rivet. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a camera in here or not. We'll see what we can see. Yeah, that's good. So you can see what they've done here. They've soldered the socket down to the chassis, but I'll bet you that solder is not good. I don't know if we can actually see that it's not good, but tap on this or hear the click, 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 and there's the rivet sitting right there. So I'll bet you the solder didn't work out. It doesn't look right, does it? It doesn't have the flow along the edge here. It looks a little like a ridge along here. Kind of gives me the impression they just didn't manage to solder it down, or it's come off over time. Plugging a tube in and out of the socket's going to work that a little bit and loosen it up. So what I will do is I'll take this. So there's a grounded this socket here. This pin here is part of a grounded set of pins on here. I'm just going to run a wire from here. I'm going to stick it right under that screw, like I said, and we're going to run the radio. But first, I'm gonna go drink a little coffee here. Okay, so I put in a ground wire there. Okay, I'm not even gonna go for coffee. I'm gonna try this out right away. Let's just turn the volume down up a wee bit. Here we go. Okay, nothing blowing up. That's a good sign. Full power. So Ontario, where I lived, announced it's going to build 3 new nuclear power plants. I guess
To extend the savings.
Rejoice, and both these promotions are on now, and the savings are #epic. Appliance Canada. Swipe right this holiday season. Visit appliancecanada.com for more details.
What amazing opportunities does the future hold for your daughter? At St. Anne's School in Aurora, we offer an unparalleled education and commitment to global learning, community, and critical thinking in an environment teeming with engaging activities, inspiring faculty, and innovation. So when your daughter is ready to step out into
What was that initial popping note? I get popped into life.
the house this Tuesday to learn what a St. can offer your daughter.
Okay, for crying out loud, I'm putting that volume control back in. We're going to see what happens. Okay, who's ready for another test here? Here we go. So volume is up just a bit. Dim bulb's good. Hey, no wonder the dim bulbs are good. I don't have it plugged in. Okay, once again. Okay, dim bulb's better. Panel lights on. (102 volts). Don't touch it. Just wait. (95 volts). That's a little low. Okay, I'm gonna give it the full. Okay, I didn't do anything.
We had a crash that was causing it, and that's been cleared away. So delay sent to Mayfield down to clean, but improving. Got PC optimal points. Don't miss the holiday super redemption event.
Okay, full power.
For your points now until Wednesday, December 4th. Forecast, Jill Taylor.
A cool day for us, just a light wind
Forecast.
out of the west-northwest, and the clouds will take charge. The guaranteed high 2 degrees. Mainly cloudy tonight. Chance of a few flurries. -4. It'll feel though like -8 to about -11 overnight. For today, the guaranteed high 2. Right now in downtown Toronto, it's -2 under sunshine.
So that's the Toronto weather report. I'm about 100 miles north, or 150 kilometers north of there, and you can just take off a couple of degrees off the temperature, but the precipitation type report, whatever's happening in Toronto, really has nothing to do with what's happening here. So we don't know. We don't know what's happening there. Okay, let's give it the rugged treatment here. We'll start with the light stick. So that sound is something rattling right in the back of the radio. It's not coming out of the speaker. Well, what's loose like that? This capacitor? Yeah, I think it's just. Why would it make a noise like that? Like, where's the rattle coming from? Okay, not affecting the radio though. We'll poke here. Okay, poke over here. So everything's stable now. Why it is every time I put the control in, the radio stopped working, I cannot explain that. I really can't. So it could be there's something more going on, and we're just in a lucky spot right now, and that's why it's working. But I don't think so. I think it's this ground wire putting that in there that has settled this whole thing down. I really don't get it. I don't get it. But it is what it is. Wow, we're having a big nationwide postal strike here in Canada right now, which is upsetting everybody, including the people on strike. So Okay, I think I need to reconnect the on-off switch, and then it's alignment time. Except it's a little late here again this morning, and I don't think I really want to get into that from here. Still wondering why when you turn this radio on, nothing happens, and then it pops into life. That's weird. That could indicate something more about this same problem that really hasn't been resolved yet. It's mysterious to me.
Their business going forward and that they're going to feel.
But sounds good.
A heads up, from the United States, the American Postal Service has announced it's suspending deliveries to Canada because of the Canada Post strike.
Yeah.
On Eastern Avenue near Leslie, I'm Kevin Meisner.
Big City News Time, 10:06.
Yeah, don't send us your mail.
Food banks in Ontario are struggling to feed those in need as demand
Okay, enough of the news. Well, I think I may have overcome the volume problem, as weird as that is. And we'll just go on from here. And I get this out of my shop as quickly as I can from here. Yeah, just wrap it up and send it out. It's done. Thanks a lot for watching today. And tomorrow I will attempt to finish the radio off, align it, do all that stuff, get it back in its cabinet, and get the lights set up, and make it look really nice, and hopefully it's still working really nice. So thanks a lot again. Thanks again a lot for watching. And we'll see you on the next video. At least you'll see me, or maybe you'll see my elbow. Something like that. See ya.